Today's video is so important in the stationery industry right now because there is so much talk going around about, is AI replacing designers? Is there still a need for custom stationery? Is the economy affecting our industry? Are people even buying printed invitations anymore? And so I am so excited to talk to you today about 10 specific reasons why the stationery industry is thriving, and I hope that this video is going to inspire you, get your wheels turning, and help you to feel excited again about your stationery business. All right, so let's jump right into it. We are going to talk through 10 reasons the stationery industry is thriving. And the first one is that tradition is trendy. So what do I mean by this? I mean that it is actually on trend right now to pair modern practices with tradition. A lot of couples are looking to find ways to tie in traditional wedding practices into their wedding planning. They don't want everything to feel modern and cutting edge. They want some of those traditional, meaningful practices to be a part of their wedding. And so one of those things is printed paper. People love the idea of their guests receiving an actual printed invitation suite in the mail that gets them feeling excited for their wedding. It's a tangible experience and it leans into the tradition and the classic way of doing things that their parents and their grandparents did for their weddings. Number 2 is custom artwork. And so this is a huge one. We are seeing so many couples looking for custom artwork as a part of their invitations. Not only is custom artwork beautiful and just elevates the look of the suite, but it really makes it feel so personal, and it makes the invitation feel less just like, a copied suite that came from one of those websites where everyone can have the same exact invitation. And it makes it feel more like it was made just for them, and it reflects their personalities and the things that are meaningful to them. So whether this is a custom venue illustration of the location of their wedding, or maybe it's a map of the city showing guests around and where they can visit while they're there, maybe it's a custom crest with a monogram and a pet portrait and things that really feel personal and important to the couple. Whatever it is, there are so many ways to tie in custom artwork to your designs to help couples see that they can create something that feels like true artwork for their invitations rather than just a generic design that they could get printed anywhere. All right, number 3 is guest experience. And so you could survey hundreds of couples planning weddings and ask them what one of the most important things that they're thinking about as they plan their wedding. And I guarantee you are going to see guest experience at the top of that list. Couples are so focused on how they can elevate their guests' experience at their wedding. It is not just about going through the motions and having the same old wedding that everyone has always had for decades. It is about having an elevated guest experience. They want their guests to feel pampered, to feel excited, to have an experience as they encounter their wedding. And so that starts at the very beginning with the invitation. The wedding invitation sets the tone for the wedding. And so couples care so much about having that elevated guest experience. And let me just tell you, opening a beautiful envelope to find a silk ribbon tied around an invitation suite with different panels and pockets and wax seals and all of the embellishments, that is an experience. So use that in your marketing. Use it as a way to help you reach the right couples talking about the guest experience. Number 4 is increased awareness. So we're talking about 10 reasons why this industry is thriving. And let me just tell you, one of those reasons is because people are more aware that custom stationery exists. Back in the day, we didn't have social media. We didn't have Pinterest. We didn't have all of these sources of inspiration and ideation for weddings. Now we do. And so couples are so much more aware of all of the different amazing, beautiful things that they could do for their wedding. And when you're aware of something, you're more likely to want it. And so truthfully, that is one reason why the industry is thriving, is because couples are aware of custom stationery. They see it on their feeds and they think, oh, I have to have that. All right, number 5 is that custom invitations create a physical keepsake, something that actually comes away from the wedding and feels special that can be a part of their life after the wedding. And so we think about flowers and how they wilt and die, and the food gets eaten, and the music fades, and all of those parts of the wedding, they go away, right? And there are some parts of it that you can hold on to and cherish forever, like the photos and the video and the invitations. And so, as a custom stationer, we provide a custom keepsake suite for our couples that is intended just for that purpose. It is boxed up in a beautiful linen box, and we always do calligraphy and vintage stamps for just that one suite to help our couples have something really special that they get to take away from their wedding. Number 6 is that custom invitations are almost essential to having an editorial worthy wedding. And so I know this might sound a little superficial and kind of silly, but it is a priority. There are a lot of couples out there who are thinking about the details of their wedding and how they can get their wedding published. And so at the end of the day, if you have generic stationery and generic invitations, that is going to hurt your chances of getting published, because publications and wedding blogs and wedding magazines really love to see those stunning detail shots. They're just kind of those details that like stop the scroll, because they are, flat lays can be dressed up so beautifully. And those types of images are just great visual bait to help people click and want to see the content. And so if you are planning a wedding and you want it to be published, you will want to have beautiful custom stationery. All right, number 7 is that custom invitations allow you to have a branded wedding. So this is a very trendy thing right now to have a branded wedding, which basically means that you have this color palette, you have these branding elements that you are going to tie throughout all of the pieces of your wedding, from your save the date through your invitations, your wedding website, all of the little details on your wedding day, and just every little space where you could stamp your branding. You do that to create this cohesive feel. So not only are we talking about like a monogram, but we might also be talking about a pattern or a texture or something that you tie into your invitations that you then use again on your wedding day. So for example, with one of our clients this year in 2025, we had a custom chinoiserie pattern painted for our client. She then used that chinoiserie artwork on a wrap that went around the bar on her wedding day. And it was such a beautiful element of branding that created that cohesiveness from her stationery all the way through her wedding day. And so couples who care about that branded feeling are going to look for a designer, a custom stationer, to help them bring it to life. All right, number 8 is personal experience. And when I say personal, I mean that couples want to feel like they are being taken care of by a human, by a person. They want to have almost like that customer experience of someone who is an expert in the field taking care of them and helping them through the process. And so, especially our couples whose parents are heavily involved in the planning process, they would rather work with a custom stationer for the invitations than order online, because of the fact that we are experts and that we are going to help answer questions and guide them through the process. And so that element of the human side of things is really, really important. All right, number 9 is that it's fun. So 10 reasons why the stationery industry is thriving. Well, one of those is that people just love the experience of working with a custom stationer. We provide these fun welcome boxes that have labeled samples and all kinds of things they can touch and feel and look at in person. It's a fun part of the experience. It's a luxury experience. And so clients want that. Couples who are planning their one wedding in their life want all of those extra special moments and details included in their experience. And so sometimes we have couples who want a custom stationer just because it is fun and it is a luxury experience. And lastly, number 10, and probably my favorite reason why this industry is thriving, is because there is a huge emphasis on supporting small businesses. People are just shifting in their consumer habits to wanting to find small businesses and be able to support actual people and actual families rather than supporting these massive chain companies. And so there is something so powerful there to know that people are moving toward custom stationery because they want to support you. They want to support your family and your business and help your business to be successful while also getting the stationery that they need and want for their wedding. So I hope that this video has inspired you and helped you to see that our industry in the stationery world is absolutely thriving. If you are a designer or a wedding stationer, I want you to have confidence that more and more couples every single year are coming in the direction of custom stationery. It is absolutely a thriving industry, and it is worth pouring into and building your stationery business here. I also want to encourage you, now that you've watched this video, to use these 10 reasons the stationery industry is thriving as a core, as a strategy, as a structure for your marketing in your business. I want you to go back through and think about each of the 10 things that I listed here and ask yourself, how can I use this in my messaging? How can I market around this? If I know that people want a really elevated guest experience for their wedding, and that's really important, how can I talk about that in my Instagram captions? Can I go on my stories and talk about how custom invitations will help your wedding get published in a magazine? Can I make a reel where I talk about the personal experience that you get and the expertise and the guidance that you get from working with me? I want you to use these 10 reasons the stationery industry is thriving as a marketing tool in your business and get out there and speak to your audience about the things that they care about most. All right, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope to see you in our next video, and make sure to check the description for all kinds of resources and tools that you can use to help you continue growing your stationery business.